Welcome back. Today we're going to install this deep water culture bed. These videos are partially supported by our Patreon contributors. Our top contributors are trueaquaponics.com and glassbottleoutlet.com. Thanks for your support. I have this old Raftmaster frame that I'm recycling a lot of the parts out of it. Helps us save a couple bucks on this install. And I'll figure out what parts I have, what parts I'm going to need, and then I can fabricate the rest of everything. I should be able to get about half of the frame out of this. This is one of the features that I really like about this aquaponic design, is that the deep water culture bed also acts as the sump for the system, and that keeps it from having to go underground for a sump tank and everything. I see a lot of horror stories online with people that have buried sumps in the ground, and they tend to collapse in, or they're difficult to get to. The water level does go up and down a little bit in these, but once it goes down about an inch or so over the long run, it lets me know I can add more water into the system easily. So this has worked out really well over the years. I don't think I'm gonna bore you with all the details of building this, since it's pretty repetitive the entire way down. But once this is all done, and through the magic of a little video editing, you'll find that I will be all the way down, 98 feet down to the other end in the blink of an eye. So there's the whole thing assembled. Not too worried about it being crooked at the moment, mainly because along the wall I'm going to add some weed barrier, and then I'll align everything up after that. This is some old weed barrier that came with the greenhouse frame when I bought it. It's obviously used from long ago, and they had used it in the floor of their greenhouse just to keep the weeds down. And I chose to use gravel instead, or sand, but I've been saving this for such an occasion. I can just cut it up and use it in bits and pieces here and there. It's in pretty sad shape from the mice and stuff eating through it, but I'll fold it over and tuck it in between the wall and the frame. I like to line the bottom of these beds with this 1-inch styrofoam board. The sand that I put down is crushed granite, and it has really sharp edges to it. So I don't want the liner sitting right on the granite. It will just start perforating the liner over time. So this is a good insurance policy not to get leaks and ruin the liner. Unfortunately, there is a cost associated with this. It cost about $500 to do this entire bed, so we're a little over $1 a square foot to put this down. I like to use this ultra scrim liner, which by the way you can get through our longtime channel supporter at trueaquaponics.com. They sell these rolls. I think they're 100 foot. I know this one's 100 feet. Normally I would have just rolled this out on top of the rails, but since it's right against the wall, it makes it a little more difficult to do that. So we'll slide this into place once it's all rolled out. And this is the reason why I make these beds 98 feet, because these are 100-foot rolls. That gives me a foot down, 98 feet, and another foot up. And thankfully they also add a little extra slop onto the end, so probably could get away with 100 feet, but I'm not taking that chance. Whenever I'm working in the liner, I always take my boots off. I don't want to track any stone particles into here. It's very difficult working right up against the wall, so I'm just gonna have to sort of wing it here. It's much easier to clamp down the first part of this, act as our second set of hands, and I'm just going to sort of pull it in and rough it out a little bit better. Now when you're laying this out, you don't want the liner to be above the ribs, or you don't want it suspended above the ribs. So I need to push that in, because if it is that way, the water weight will just push this down and it will attempt to pull all the clips off. So you have to sort of do a little dance here, and that one's good. I've installed a lot of liners, and I'm yet to get one to lay perfectly flat. I don't know if they come out of the factory a little bit misshapen, or the thermals between hot and colds make it stretch a little bit more, or if I'm just really lousy at installing these. But I usually get a couple wrinkles in them, and I haven't noticed any side effects of that. Just a hair uglier. But once it's filled with stuff, you don't even know there's a wrinkle in it. Dealing with the corners is always an exciting challenge, and probably one of my least favorite things to attempt to do. Usually I try to work in and then work to the center. Using the clips to hold everything in helps out a lot. Essentially it's like a inverse Christmas present. Try to fold the corners. The most important part is all the edging. You have to make sure that it's over the edge, because if any of it's down in here, as the water level goes up, it's just going to weep right out through the top edging. Here's this fold in here, and then the edging goes right over that lip there. This bed holds about 2,300 gallons. I haven't put the bulkhead fittings in the ends yet, but I might as well start filling it up a little bit. It's going to take quite a while. I made up this backer board for the bulkhead fitting. It's made out of Adventech decking. This isn't regular particle board. Has some weird epoxy added into it. Stuff will basically last forever. We're gonna stick that right in here. I like to use the backer board so the bulkhead fitting has something to support itself against. Otherwise it's just flopping around on the liner and you're just asking for trouble by having any movement with that. So stick that in there. Have a couple clips that will hold that into place, and we'll put the bulkhead fitting in. And of course the screws that I bought are just a hair too short, so we're gonna wrestle these into place. I don't have enough space for a washer on here. Usually I would put a washer on. The hardware store is closed today because it's Sunday. It's just a small hardware store, and I'm not driving an hour to get to the latest, biggest box store. I wasn't paying attention to when the water was filling, and now it is about halfway up against the bed. You can see the shadows here. So we're gonna have to work quickly and get this bulkhead fitting in. I'm gonna cap the end of it. I was planning on doing this anyways because I wasn't quite ready to tie this bed into the rest of the system. Not sure why this isn't fitting in. I did the other side before I filmed this side. It's the exact same hole. What I think has happened is when I painted this, some of the loose sawdust and stuff just got caught in the hole and made it a hair smaller. So we're gonna attempt to just clean it up with the drill. It should make a horrible mess. Well, it's in there. Not the easiest way to do it, especially with the water in there, but that's gonna hold. It'll work well. I think that's enough for this video. I'll get this filled in with water, and next time we'll get the aeration going and get it interconnected in with the rest of the system. Once again, thanks for watching.